All right, we should be live. I'm gonna go ahead. Oh, I dropped my phone just now. Make sure that this is actually working. Oh, yep, looks like we are live. Perfect. I'm gonna go ahead and move my computer into its kind of tablet mode because today I'm using a stylus, and so that should hopefully make this experience a whole lot better for everybody involved, including me. Let's see, my microphone's now going to be over here, which should be more than good, I hope. Actually, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to turn on my... There we go. Now if I put this in the middle of my computer, we can get that nice kind of effect that we enjoy so much, I think. All right. So today we're going to be doing something real nice and pretty. We're going to be drawing a little bit of a little forest. And so I'm actually going to start my outline using a pencil tool. And we're going to switch to the paintbrush pretty soon. But for now, I just want to kind of get this kind of shape. And so I'm going to draw starting from over here. Oh, that's not what we want. Starting from over here, let's just kind of, yeah. Get just like a nice little line. And again, we're not trying to be straight. We're not trying to be anything in particular. We're just trying to get a little line in for the horizon. And things are gonna change quite a bit. Now the overall kind of theme that I want here is like a kind of grassy, kind of bushy area with some nice kind of long trees going by. So I'm gonna add a little bit of another line for the, like a second part of like the horizon, I suppose, but like it's like a bush kind of thing that's kind of going through. And we'll start to see that kind of take its form just a little bit as we go. But this is kind of going to be like an overall arching kind of theme. It's going to be like a kind of yellow in the background kind of a thing. And then I actually want to have some layer of, I want to have like a layer of a couple mountainy kind of things. So, man, why is that happening? I don't want that. I'm going to have to start over here. And so this is just going to be very gradual. And actually will kind of almost fade. And so this is actually going to be, we might think of mountains as being kind of like blue, but these mountains are going to be more kind of, or no, sorry, not blue, but brown. But I'm going to make these mountains kind of blend into the atmosphere. And again, I know we've got like three kind of squiggly lines, but it's going to become something cohesive as we go, like it usually does. So now I'm going to move to my brush tool. And I'm going to use a pretty big brush size, and we're going to go for this green. And I'm actually going to go over the entire landscape area with this green brush. I don't know if we'll be able to finish this specific project. I know exactly what this is going to look like in my mind. And that's a big part of what, art is. If you've got the patience for it, you can basically create whatever you want. And so that's what we're doing. Again, this is just Microsoft Paint. Like, there ain't nothing special about this program. And a lot of people just kind of use it to joke about things. And again, as we start, we just kind of get that basic outline. And it's just kind of nice. I actually even might be dividing this up into several different streams if we want to, because this picture might be a little longer than others, depending on how we can do it. And I've got about an hour and a half before I have to get going, so I can dedicate at least that much time to it. Yeah, just getting these bold kind of strokes. I'm gonna go ahead and pull up the live chat on my phone and see if we've got any people watching me today. Let's look up my name, Hermetic Lock. And again, if there is anybody that's tuned in, That's great. 5 people. Perfect. Glad to see you all here. How are you enjoying the creators update? AMG channel? I'm not sure what you mean by the creators update. Is there something that I don't know yet about? Some kind of creators update? Is this YouTube related? Or are you talking about, like, is it possibly Minecraft or something? I don't know. For now, though, we're just going to do these big, bold strokes of the green. Let me know what you think of the background music as well. It's my hope that it kind of complements the work, because when I draw, I like to kind of pick music that kind of sets a theme for what I'm trying to actually create. It kind of helps create that picture in my mind that I'm trying to envision, you know, because what we're doing is we're creating a environment. You know what I mean? And you know, I like to think of like when you're like in like a musical or something, there's like the pit band underneath, and they are just as much about, you know, they set the tone for the show. And very much, I think, having the correct music in the background when you're trying to draw or create something or even build something, you can kind of hone into those special characteristics that you want. And again, we just want to go side to side. One big thing that amateur artists tend to do, new Windows update. Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's not that, not too fun. Windows, it's better than Windows 10. Oh, the new Paint. We're just using the regular one. I'm not using like paint.net or anything, but thanks for asking. I do appreciate that. All right, now we're going to do something a little bit different compared to some of the other streams I've done where we're drawing. And we're going to do a lot more detail first before we add in the other stuff. Oh man, let's get rid of that. Okay. I want to go real nice and small on this brush. Let's see how this looks. Did I just put another thing in? No, I didn't. Okay. Are we the smallest size that we can be? No. Okay, there we go. Oh, I missed this spot right over here. Oh, gosh. Okay. All right, let's go back to this screen. Let's go back to this brush. Let's go back to this size. Just get that done really quickly. There we go. There's that. All right, now I'm going to work on adding some little, like, yellow into this grass. Some yellow. Hello, Why Good? How are you today? Or you know what? Before we do that, let's get some little pieces of grass in there. I'm gonna use. All right, good. Oh, all right. We're zooming in. All right. First of all, it's kind of. All right. So the grass that's kind of more at the forefront of our image, we want it to be a little bit bigger. But again, it is just grass, right? So we're not going to do anything too special just yet. Again, these are just little small strokes. Let's do a couple more over here, maybe. A little bit over here. This isn't a drawing tablet or anything either. This is just a touch screen, and I'm using a stylus pen that I got from this Comcast store as part of a deal. Let's move over here to this side. Get a little bit more of that grass thing going on. There we go. Just some grass. And we're actually going to be working on adding some different color here and there as well. Because you can't just have one color of grass. Everybody knows that. Everybody knows that. All right. Can we hear me okay? I just want to make sure that before we go like an hour into it, that my volume is decent and that the music isn't too loud and all of that good stuff. And again, feel free to come back and check in on this later. Maybe just keep the tab open. You can just listen to me as I go. All right, thanks, Wygood. Appreciate that. And then I like to add some grass going over the horizon line too. Just a little bit. Perfect. Lovely. It's good. I wish that my touch screen still worked. One of the pins and the part of the internal display port was bent and broke. Oh man, I'm sorry. That's the rough life, man. It's the rough life. There we go. I'm starting to be happy with this kind of grass. Let's take a look at how that looks. Full picture. Maybe we need a little bit more in that area over there. Let's go ahead and get that. Just tiny bits. Just little pieces. You know? It doesn't take as much effort as people think. And I think that that's a big, misconception about just painting in general. It doesn't take as much effort as you might be led to believe it does. Alright, what I'm going to go do now is I'm going to add a little bit of a trail going through. Let me divide it up really quickly with just like the pencil tool. I'm thinking there'll be like a line in the middle. That's still going to be kind of green. And this part's going to be kind of absorbed by something. Alright. So this guy is going to combine into this. And then it should be a little bit thicker here. Alright, and then we want trail to come out like that, and we want it to come through like this. Alright, kind of a rough guideline. Let's see, this should be a little bit more thick over here, and then that's not too bad. I want to bring this kind of down the horizon over here, if that's okay with all of you. Oh, so I can work on getting rid of that a little bit more later. For now, that's what it's going to look like, just so that I know to come back and get rid of that. And I'll get rid of that probably more so with the color, and it's just going to become a part of this little second line over here, and that's going to be more kind of like a yellowy kind of brush tool. We're going to use like a lot of that kind of stuff being layered in this part. Anyway, let me get back to this little trail here. I want to move to like the gray, and we're going to use this guy again, and we're going to go big. Alright, we're going to keep the inside a little green. I'm actually going to use a different type of green though for that when I get around to it. Again, we're making like a little bit of a trail. That's the goal. And again, as I just get these little outlines in here, don't think too much of it. It's just very kind of basic shapes and figures so I can see how it's looking in my mind. Yep. Alright. Yeah, that's coming together okay. I'm going to use the entire thing, and I'll get that middle segment in there later. Let me switch to this brush over here. There we go. Switch to a white. Kind of near the edges. Get a little bit of that in there. And then let's actually make this quite a bit smaller. Just kind of little spots here and there. We'll have these streaks of white. Yeah. Alright, that's okay for now. That's a rough idea. Very general, right? And I'm thinking of this as more than a path than like an actual road. And hopefully we'll see that kind of come to fruition in a second here. Let's get this line to actually come through down here. That should be good. Okay. So now what I actually want to do is I'm going to add some very basic tree trunks. And these are actually going to be much smaller trees than what we might be used to, at least in terms of like how skinny they are. And so I'm going to add a couple, and they're going to go all the way up to the top of the picture, actually, believe it or not. This is the right brush size that I want. Perfect. And again, this is going to go all the way up. I'm going to get a bunch of these. And they're going to vary, you know, in size, obviously. Nothing's ever going to be the same. Again, this is going to be kind of like a, well, it's almost like a forest kind of a thing. Right. Perfect. Again, I'm just going to work on adding some more of these kind of shapes of these trees here. Good. This side, we're going to have it to be a little bit smaller, but we're going to have tons of them. There's going to be tons and tons of trees. Let me undo that last one. There we go. Because I actually want that to be quite a bit smaller. As we get more close to like the path, these trees need to be smaller. Yeah. Let's actually get a tree kind of going through and on top of this road over here. Just right over here. Plant that just like so. Again, you know, we're just kind of placing down the overall kind of groundwork of this painting, right? We don't just start. Is he doing this on tablet? You can't make good lines with the mouse, can you? Yeah, I'm doing it on a touch screen laptop right now. But you know, we're just kind of getting in trees, and we can actually, like, I've done some pretty interesting things with Microsoft Paint, and it doesn't look so impressive right now because we're just kind of getting a basic kind of rough frame. It's kind of like you'll see like when people do movies and stuff, make movies, especially like animated films, they have these kind of rough sketches of things first, and that's kind of what I'm getting at here. And so the path obviously isn't as developed, the grass isn't as developed as you know, it could be yet, and that's because I haven't put in the work to do that yet. Right now I'm just kind of laying out the groundwork that I want. And we want to have, you know, a lot of like kind of small trees towards over here, and these don't need to be quite as big, but they need to be there. They do need to be there. Alright, that's enough for now. But you get that there's all kinds of little trees in there. And we're actually going to get a couple of leaves. And these are going to be really colorful. This is going to be like autumn, almost. And so I'm going to need all kinds of color in here. So right now I'm just going to go through and tap, kind of just like that. What I'm doing is I'm building texture. And as I go over this with brushes, it'll kind of be blended in. Again, just adding this texture all over the place is what we want. These leaves are going to be covering almost everything. All right, we've got a rough kind of outline of these leaves. We're getting ready to really make this come together. What I'm going to add now is some of the actual brush. So let's get a little bit of a lighter. Let's add that to our custom colors. And now let's go over to this guy. And we're going to use about the second to largest one. This needs to be mostly kind of towards the top. That's really, really dark. We want to make sure that the trunks are coming through more than the actual leaves. And so I'm going to come back to that in a second. Let me get the rough kind of outline of this sky in here. And the sky's actually going to be a decent blue. Not like super, super blue, but it's definitely going to be blue. Kind of a gray, light kind of thing. And the mountains are actually, which is the layer below this, those are going to be like a dark kind of blue, because it's just kind of in the background, you know what I mean? We'll just go over these trees for now, and we can bring them up later. I should have put down the sky layer first, now that I think about it, but that's okay. Everything will be okay. And again, it's okay to go over those lines because they're just guidelines. Good, good. It's coming together. It's coming together, that's for sure. Here we go. Nice long stroke. It takes time. It takes time. That's the only thing that's certain. Other than that, the picture could turn out to be anything really. But what we do know is that it's going to take time. You know, and I really do like to experiment using like kind of different colors for things. Because, you know, most people, when they just like want to paint something to goof around, everything is always the same color. The sky is always the same shade of blue. The trees are always brown. And so I always challenge you to kind of look a little bit past that, if you can. It always helps to be able to do stuff like that. Always, always helps. And then for the layer above the green, we're going to do some mixing of yellows, reds, and oranges. And so I'm actually going to start with a yellow, and we're just going to go through. I never like to make most of my sky one color. I find that makes it really incredibly dull. There we go. And we'll revisit some of these kind of grassy areas too. And of course we'll redo these tree trunks. There we go. Again, no definitive shape. The black line is just my own little guideline that I kind of set myself. And so we don't even have to follow it to a T or anything. These aren't hills, by the way. This is the way the sky looks. You'll see the hills in just a second. What the goal is that this is kind of going to be the layer that you can kind of peek through the trees with. And so it's actually going to be, when this gets like finished, you'll see that this looks more like kind of like nature-y kind of stuff that's just kind of above the horizon in your point of view. But right now I'm just kind of getting this yellow frame in, and then we'll mix in some other colors in there because leaves are not just one color, and we'll see that soon. That is super annoying. There's that, and then let's just swoop. Alright, now let's get a little bit of orange in there. And we're going to make these kind of smaller, but it's still there. And then it's not going to be until we combine the yellow again that this all mixes in there. There's the red. Alright, let's do another more orangey kind of thing in here. Oh, no, this is the red. There we go. Perfect. And then I'm going to go here, make this a lot bigger, and then switch to this one. Now we're getting all that color kind of in there. There we go. You see how it's kind of like built up now with like layer and layer, and you kind of combine the color. Alright, that's okay for now. Now I want to get the kind of dark side of the mountains in. Oop. And we'll have, you know, individual kind of peaks in these. Here and there. Alright, let's get back to those trees though, for now. Good. Yeah, this is coming back together slowly but surely. Get the rest of these in here, and we're going to add more. Believe it or not, we're going to add more. Let's move this part back just a little bit. Let's see, any other medium-sized I'm forgetting? Nope. There we go. Now we're talking here. And once we add some more detail onto these logs, it'll be real nice. There's one thing that I like to do, it's adding detail onto the log. Yeah, there we go. Now I'm going to take a little bit of a darker version of this. Let's just move it down to there. Add that to our custom colors. Alright, let's find one of the bigger trees first. Let's just do this one. And let's kind of go through and add some streaks of color to these. Yeah, there we are. Good. And you know, I allow myself to be kind of consumed by the kind of naturey aspect of this. We probably want to use smaller branches across all of them. And these do actually have leaves on them too. And then we'll get the green again, and that's really gonna do some fun stuff to it. Again, we're thinking this is kind of like where the sun is just setting, and so that's why it's a lot more yellow there as well. But again, it's also fall, and so some of that yellowness down there is going to come from heavy leaf kind of stuff. And there's still going to be heavy leaf in the sky too, but it's good to have that outline of where the sky actually is so that it can actually peek through the spaces where the trees are, if that makes sense. Let's add some leaves to this guy over here, or branches rather. This one needs some branches. Then that's about right, I think. Again, just kind of like a little bit of a forest, right? And we're just adding little bits of color here and there. Nothing too, you know, serious. Nothing too serious at all. Let's go back to this orange. And am I using the right brush? I am. We're going to add a little bit of color up in the sky. Oh, I want it to be as big as possible. And I want it to be lighter than that if I can. Maybe this guy. No, that's the color that we used for the tree. Alright, let's go back to this orange and kind of make it a little bit lighter. Alright, add that to our custom colors. How does that look? No, that's not what we want. Alright, let's try this for now. Make the size as big as possible. And then it's going to be hard to blend in. It's like you almost have to make the leaves before you make the branches. Perhaps. I don't know. Alright, let's get a little bit of a green in there again. Let's use a lighter green though. I'm not seeing too much show up. Oh, it's there. It's definitely there. It's just hard to see. This is just the texture that we're adding. Okay. Now let's go back to here, change the size a little bit, get some of that actual green in there. Maybe we can have a little more highlights in the ground over there. Let's see. It's coming, you know, it's coming. I want to get darker over here. Just kind of mix that in. There's like another hill over there maybe. Maybe this is like a little river coming through. And that's why there's a path, because ages ago people followed the path of the river. And let's make it a little bit lighter green on the sides, or maybe darker green on the side of it. Yep. Good. Let's say that works just fine. Switch back to this. Fix some of these trees. Again. Control Z that. Oh man. Alright. This is just going to be a bigger tree. Okay. How we doing, streamers? What are we thinking so far about this? Hey, Flangfur, how are ya? Let's go back to here. I'm going to need to zoom in a little bit. And then let's do this, this, this. There we go. Get these nice and in there. Marvelous. Marvelous, marvelous, marvelous. Now I'm thinking, more stuff that we should add. I want more kind of red on the inside here. How's this calligraphy pen work? Okay. That might be good for like leaves, I'm thinking too. There we go. This is what I want. Just the right amount of blend through it. And again, the sky is more just kind of background. Like you're able to see bits and pieces of the sky through these trees. But this is exactly how I want this to look now. I've got this kind of set up. And so do you see the importance of building the layers behind first before you get these kind of background things? Because it gets a little bit chaotic in here. And so now it's like you're able to see like the blue kind of blend of the mountains through the inside. Let's take a look at that and zoom out. Yeah, that's come together a lot better than I thought. And then when we come back with the black again, it's really going to add some character, especially to these trees. Oh, especially to these trees. Very gradual. But it's there. You can't miss that it's there. That's the important part about it. There we go. And you see how we only have that shadow on like that kind of little hill up there? Yeah. Let's have that smaller tree coming through from that point. There we go. Alright. What more? What more? Well, let's think here. Oh, did we talk about adding like little flowery kind of things inside the grass? Yeah, let's do a little bit of that. So, to start, I'm just going to go back to the kind of texture thing. Do just kind of some of these here and there. And then we'll take the calligraphy pen. Is that as small as we can go? Alright, let's undo those last two. Splash some yellow in there. Can even get a little bit of blue. Why not? It's our world, right? We can put a little blue if we want. I like, maybe go back to this pen over here. $5.11. How are those looking so far? Okay. Right, not blending as well as I'd want it to. We need to find a more kind of not so vibrant red. Let's try this. Go back to that small area with those flowers. And let's just go over it with this. Not so vibrant. Still fairly dull. We don't want it to stick out too much. And then if we take the darker green again, we can kind of create, oops, oh man, I dropped. We can kind of begin to create some kind of shrubbery type stuff near the horizon line. But do you see where the sun is kind of poking through these trees? It's exactly what we want. Not sure how I feel about those little details on the line over there, actually. That might not be exactly what I was looking for. But this is coming along pretty interestingly, I'd say. I think we definitely need more yellow towards the top part of this. So let's do some of that. Interesting. Let's see, I want to extend another one of these trees all the way down. tranquil. Pretty tranquil. Let's get another rock. Or let's get a rock, rather. Yeah. Yeah. Interesting. I really like the river that we added to it. I don't know, I'm trying to think. We could do a little more to the road. And I think that we should maybe add like some shadowy kind of elements. I'm going to do that with like kind of like the darker blue here. Alright. No, too light. Or too dark, rather. We want to use a much lighter shade of blue there. Let's try this guy. That's better. We could even do with a little bit of a car stuff. We could even do with a little bit of this in the ocean. Just a couple of highlights. Near the edge over here would be nice. So this is nice. And then we'll add in a little, like a lily pad or two in there. Maybe like a little alligator. Why not, right? We could add an alligator. Maybe little pieces of tall grass kind of sticking up there. Oop, too big. That's okay. And again, maybe like again, we'll have that. Just a little bit sticking out. I'm okay with that. Maybe we'll have like another rock there. Just kind of doing what it wants. That is not what I wanted to do. Wrong brush, that's why. Vaguely have it going up. What does it actually look like? That's okay. Let's get that little alligator that we talked about, though. He should be swimming through. Maybe we'll put him here. He's got a little hump kind of coming up. Oh, let's go back to the brush. And let's make him darker. He's got like he's kind of humped coming up. But he's long, and then this will be its head. Let's not forget the eyes. Should be kind of scaly. We won't call this an alligator, we'll call it a creature. I like that better. Just a little creature in the water. Who knows what it does, what it's doing. We'll turn this into part of it. And if we add that white again, it'll be cohesive. This is the same kind of thing. It's just slithering around. What's it doing? I don't know. But it's going through that lake. Yeah, that's nice. I want to add a bench on the other side of it. What a magical little world that we've created here. Yeah, bench can go right up to there. We're gonna do a brown, and I don't like any of the I don't like the browns that we get, so I'm actually just gonna create my own. Yeah, we can smooth it kind of here. Here's some more browns. All right, get like a bench, just like a normal wooden bench that you'd find anywhere. Nothing complicated going on. Maybe it's just kind of got a nice view of the river. Let me undo 2 strokes. There it is. Maybe we want like a little bridge too. We'll put one like over here maybe. That looks okay. And we've got just a little bit of a walking way to kind of get to it. The trail has been kind of used up. Not the only ones there. Perfect. And now I want to begin to add just a little bit more detail into these tree trunks. Again, with that kind of the black. Really does a lot for them. Especially the higher up you go, I think. Look at that. Okay. Alright, stream. I'm going to ask you for your own personal suggestions for this photo. And we'll add them. Yes, I will release a BMP afterwards. RIP headphone users. Is it too loud? The green by the river looks a little too harsh in my opinion. You're absolutely right. Thank you. Something that I almost completely overlooked. Let me go through that. But yeah, you're definitely right. That comes out of nowhere. Almost. Let's go back to this kind of bigger size. Add a turtle. Alright. Why the heck not? We can add a turtle. You know what? I've messed a lot with my perspective on this. That bridge, if it were to be functional, should be bigger. I mean, look at the size of the rock compared to the bench. That's okay. I'm not a professional artist. I'm just doing this for fun. But you can see where, you know, little things become incoherent if you zoom in too much. You kind of lose a perspective. That's important. Alright, that's much better than it used to be. It's still a little rough on the edges near the river there, but that's okay. At least for our intents and purposes. Let's add a turtle. Maybe he's sitting on the rock. That's where I'd go. If I were a turtle, I'd sit on the rock. Alright, this is going to be a happy little fella. How big am I? Alright, we want to be as small as possible. Alright, there's our turtle. He's just chilling. Chilling on the rock. That's where I would chill too. Alright. I'm going to add a couple of birds in the sky, and then I think we'll be good. Again, thank you for joining me today. Over here. All right. Yeah, that's really nice. Really, really, really nice. Chicken crossing the road. That'd be pretty funny. A loud car in the background was just loud. Sound is good though. Oh, okay, AMJ. Thank you. I was like, I wasn't sure what you were talking about in regards to the sound. ASMR. Okay, sorry. I don't know why I just did that. Let's see. Maybe a little chicken. What does a chicken look like? I don't know if I could do that. Just kind of like a basic circle thingy with more circles, I suppose, is what it would look like, I suppose. Please what, AMJ? Oh, stop. Yeah. Alright. I think that we're going to call that good. I'm happy with the way that that turned out. Pretty simple. Pretty simple stuff, but interesting enough as well. Is this calligraphy pen? Alright. Black. Alright. Oh, hey Avery. We just finished this picture. I'm going to go ahead and save this and upload it to the Reddit. I'm going to move my microphone really quickly. Kind of change the way this looks for a second. Okay, I'm going to set my mic over here. And then I'm going to... Can you hear me still? Yeah, we're okay, I think. I don't know if I... Okay, yes, I'm definitely hearing myself through the headphones. Alright, I'm gonna go upload this to Imgur. Gotta flip my computer back around so I'm not in tablet mode anymore. Okay. Alright. I've got a mouse again. Oh, what should we call this, guys? We need a name for it. How about just Tranquil Forest? Perfect. Alright. I'm gonna go ahead and upload that to Imgur. Oh no, my phone just fell. Okay. Alright. New post. Probably on the desktop. Tranquil Forest. Beautiful. Let's copy that. All right. I put the link for the final version in the chat. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and put us in full screen, and now we can just enjoy this. This is what we did together, guys. So good job to everybody. Thank you for coming out to the stream. I had fun doing it. I hope you had a fun time watching it. Looks real nice. If I had more time, I would have done more stuff in the grass and in the kind of orangey yellow area. But I like our little turtle on the rock, and I like our little snake creature. The lake is kind of fun. Alright. Well, does Imgur compress images? You know, it might. Do you have a better suggestion on where I should upload it? Other than Imgur? Because it looks somewhat decent, at least on Imgur. Maybe. Maybe not. But, you know, this isn't too bad for the second time that I've really kind of sat down and tried to do something at least a little bit cohesive. Anyway, thank you all for coming out today to the live stream. It means a lot to me. And yeah, I could upload it to MediaFire and you can download it. Anyway, thanks for watching. As always, this is Hermetic Lock. If you haven't yet and you've watched this far, you might as well leave a like on the stream. It's so weird. It's bad and great at the same time. Yeah, isn't that kind of funny? You're definitely right. That's how I kind of feel about it too. It's kind of horrible, but it's also kind of it's somehow nice looking. I don't know. At least this area is. I really like this kind of part. Hi, Rider Top. Yeah. Fun. Anyway, again, thank you all for watching. I'm going to end the stream here. So, again, thank you. Yeah, you can see the beauty in it, you know? It's like, it looks like, it might be kind of ugly, but, you know, there's beauty to be seen in it. I might want to add, like, more kind of yellow kind of streaks, maybe. I don't know. It's weird creating a world, you know what I mean? Maybe a little bit more kind of tall grass. Now I'm using a mouse, yeah. Now I am using a mouse. But I was using like a little bit of a stylus. Not a very good one, but still a stylus. Alright. Well, that's it for now. Thank you all for coming out.